Okay, who's this Mujin? Alright, let's get stuck into this for a minute. Okay, so this is how a new AI art method managed to trick over 100k people. The unprecedented case of Asami Arts. I think this is the person I was talking about in the Discord, so... In the Discord...
Face it, AI has become a thorn in the butt for just about anyone who doesn't look like a human reptile. And you don't really have to research too long to find out why. Just look at what's been happening recently. RAM prices have absolutely skyrocketed to never before seen levels because of AI data centers buying them all up. And just as people were starting to delay their plans of upgrading their PC because of this, AI targeted a new victim. SSDs are now rising in value very quickly and could double and even triple within the next few months because...
I'm so glad that I got my RAM and my new SSD when I did, because I got in there right before this happened. Thank God. This is a Christmas disaster right here.
While PC builders are finally starting to see the negative impact of what AI can do to them, there's a particular set of people who've been having to deal with AI for years now. And of course, I'm referring to none other than artists. I mean, things have gotten so bad that, just as an example, a Japanese game studio recently started making applicants draw in front of them during interviews to prove that they're not using generative AI.
Have one on me.
That's how good it's gotten. Take a look at this drawing. It looks absolutely stunning, right? What about this one? I mean, damn.
I've definitely seen this on Pinterest so many times, and this style on Pinterest a lot. But yeah, it's AI. Just look at the hair. Just look at the hair. It doesn't make fucking sense.
It's charging people money to draw them sketches, when in reality there's absolutely no drawing involved. People are paying for someone to draw something for them and are just getting something that was generated in an AI for free. Now usually these people can be easily caught by simply asking for a PSD file. This allows you to see the different layers used for drawing and can pretty much expose an AI user very quickly. However, recently it hasn't been...
Yeah, I wonder what the point is if an artist refuses to give like a Photoshop file to a client. I wonder like what like reason an artist would have for that, because for me personally, if someone commissions my art, I know some artists will have like this thing where it's like, oh, if you want commercial... Anyway, some people have like clauses about commercializing the art that's commissioned. I personally haven't done that. I don't know what's happening, but Caleb's downstairs, so he'll deal with it. So I can see that with maybe like people don't want to send raw files because of maybe that kind of stuff. I don't know. But we're kind of living in a world where maybe as an artist you have to be prepared to give that to your clients if they want it. If you want trust and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty like stock angry cat sound, wasn't it? That'll be okay.
Easy. There's a new breed of people using AI to pass it off as their own drawings, and they have become a real problem. Those people are tracers. Whoa. What they do is generate an AI drawing, but instead of just ending it there, they take it a step further.
Wait, is this like a censorship? If they censored this, why didn't they censor like up here? Account below will show time-lapse GIFs from AI tracers and a Twitter user who traced an AI image to prove it's possible to fake a time-lapse in CSP. There is no adjustment. Yes, that's another thing. The thing about, like, I said that in the Discord, but the fact that people do, like, this line work or these, like, sketches, but they come out, like, so perfectly, like, the first go of it. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. What are PSD files? It's just the file you use in Photoshop. It's just the format of the file. Clip Studio Paint's files are called .csps. And .psds are just the Photoshop ones. You can export your CSP files to be PSDs. But yeah, like most art programs, I guess, have their own format of file. That's kind of like all there is to it, I guess. There are different types of PSDs because you can have files that are really large. And I believe those might have a different name. It might be PSBs, I think, or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's just a file type, you know, because the program, it's got its own stuff, you know. I think I think sci files might be .sci or something. Yeah, I don't know. Move on from PSD, Photoshop law. I'm too broke for that law.
drawing on top of it. This allows them to make these time lapses that makes it seem like they're legitimate, like they're actually drawing what they're presenting. Now, none other than Asami Arts, someone who has garnered almost 100,000 followers on their page that they barely made a year and a half ago. On December 1st, 2025, they would post, Asami Arts is tracing AI. This is an account with nearly 100,000 followers who has been taking dozens of commissions through VGen.
You know what reminded me? They have Van Dyke trending here. That reminded me. I learned that apparently Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the Epstein files, allegedly. Yep. Jean-Claude Van Damme, my hero. Yeah, this is actually who I was talking about, Asami. Well, I'm assuming we'll see when we get to it.
Here is the evidence.
Yeah, I think it was.
And my god, does this document provide proof. It goes deep into the most minute details imaginable while presenting.
What they put into Photoshop over the years is great. Listen, nothing pisses me off more than people being like, just use GIMP. There are so many alternatives that are free. And it's like, I'm sorry, GIMP? You want me to use fucking GIMP? Fuck off. I'm being kind of silly, but it's like, genuinely, Photoshop is, it's an industry standard for a reason. It really is. Photoshop does it like no other program. I will say, love Clip Studio Paint, love it to bits, but there are certain things with Photoshop that are just like godsend. And it's also like, when you've spent like 15 plus years of your life learning a program, but Sai isn't free. You get a free trial, but the free trial is limited though, you know? I like Sai too, actually. I want to buy Sai and look into it maybe. I don't know. I like Clip Studio Paint, but sometimes I just think like the brush program for Sai could just be like so nice. Wait, am I in the Fortnite category? Hold on a second. I should not be in the Fortnite category, I just realized. I'm not playing Fortnite. I really should, because that one is free, isn't it? Yeah, Krita does sound like a decent program. For sure. Use GIMP once, it's so clunky. I am not about that GIMP life.
What did he say?
But yeah, Sai has a beautiful brush engine. All of these like art programs have their own little engine for like how the brushes are used. And Sai's is like no other. But yeah. Photoshop's great in that it has like the camera raw filter, the tools you can use for like getting rid of the background, selecting subjects. Like, it is like no other program, I have to say. It's really not. And then there's like automation tools for Photoshop that are really fucking sick. And then like, yeah, again, all these art programs have their proprietary like engine and shit. But yeah. Wait, is Krita on Steam?
It really is. I mean, let's just say my version of Photoshop doesn't support the AI for some reason. Don't know.
But there's still, like, the program itself is so good at, like, doing that. The same with, like, the, replacing... Is the Steam store just, like, not working? Or something? I don't know.
Such an amazing way. I almost shed a tear by how well this document was formatted, especially after the awful last few we've looked at. And seeing how AI unfortunately doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon, this means that issues like this will keep happening on an even greater level, so it's important for us to understand what to look for and why this is such a big deal. This is why I figured that we had to talk about it, but also because later on...
Hold on, I'm gonna mute this for a second. The way that they're drawing the hand, this is what stuck out to me the most. They do just like these like haphazard like circles to be like, okay, these are the hand joints, BT dubs. And they draw the lines joining it. It's like, okay. I don't know. To me, it just seemed... It's just not what I would do, I guess. I don't know. No, this person is the one I was talking about in the Discord. This is the one, I recognize it. I think. Pretty sure. Oh wait, I muted it. Sorry.
Same time-lapse would get community noted. This really isn't your typical artist drama, okay? There's a lot of ups and downs here. It's one hell of a roller coaster, so strap in. You're gonna need it. Let's do this. Alright, so first things first, for you to really understand the gravity of the situation, we need to talk about what VGen is. It's a platform that was made by artists for artists.
Okay, so I didn't actually know about VGen. I thought VGen was for like VTubing art. That's where I predominantly saw people talking about it. But if it's just for like art, oh my god, I should get on VGen. What the hell? Now, I have to pause the video right here because I'm realizing that if you don't know who I am, which you probably don't if you're new here, I'm actually an artist myself. I've been drawing probably since way before I started my digital art journey when I was like maybe 10 years old or something. But if you want to talk about digital art, I have been drawing digitally since I was like 13 years old, maybe 12 years old. I got started pretty young, and I've been using Photoshop for I think over 15 years now, so I've used all sorts of different programs. I've been studying the art, I've been studying the blade for a very long time, so I'm not just some gal on the internet giving an opinion about something that I don't know anything about or no jurisdiction in. I know plenty about the drawing process. I don't know everything, okay? I'm not trying to like toot my own horn too much here, but I just thought I'd let you know that I do have some reason for making this video in particular. Okay? Alright, back to the video. Alright, VGen. Let's freaking go, guys. VGen.
One of the things that make it appealing to commission someone on this website is the fact that it's a closed community. Not anyone can just create an account and make themselves an artist. No, there are 6 different ways to get a code, and none of them are easy. Additionally, even after you get a code, you only get verified on the platform after completing a very specific set of criteria. It doesn't do—
You see, this is the kind of like activism that I really like, because they actually give like a clear terms and conditions of what it would take to be like accepting of like, you know, generative AI and stuff. I think that's really good to have like a set clear boundary list of like what you want. I think that's good. I like that.
Many AI tracers that have made it through the cracks of VGen's verification team, and one of those people is none other than Asami Arts. They joined Twitter in August 2024. Most of these pictures will also have captions, and those too will be suggested.
What?
Asami was able to garner one hell of a community fairly quickly with a very
parasocial. Honestly, I think it's kind of like an interesting idea to have like a character that you are saying is like, this is that character's profile. It's kind of like a what is it called, ARG or something. It's interesting to me, but I'm sure the thought process behind this was yo, women and tits and anime get source of money, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a profile of this totally sweet anime chick, and then like I'm gonna farm parasocial points with it. Easy money. I don't know.
High engagement rate. For example, this post with the caption, "Do you think it suits her?" in which we can see the character Asami wearing some fairly revealing clothing, has hundreds of thousands of views and over 26,000 likes. And so they wasted no time whatsoever opening up commissions and charging $120.
Is this not a fucking red fucking flag to you? What the fuck? You heard about an AI VTuber on Twitch? Ooh. No, I don't think so. I'm not super into like the VTube space. I don't know all the stuff happening with that. Maybe I heard in passing, but I don't know who it is. That just broke the most hype train of subs. It's... Whoa. Okay, damn.
Around $4 a month, with the highest one being $13 a month.
Bro, what? See, I get embarrassed sometimes writing tags on DeviantArt. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, but thank you so much for wanting to see it.
FW Drawings was around $4 a month, with the highest one.
You really did it? I truly believe in you from the bottom of my heart. That's what I imagine the emote would be. If that... No, I don't think that's an emote. That's the emote I'd choose. Jesus.
I don't like this one. I don't like other people touching her. To which Asami replied with, "Ah, sorry. I actually meant to draw this as you."
Sorry. I meant to draw this as you. For to imagine. No one touches her, jealous boy. Don't worry. Ew. I don't get the VTuber space, but every time I hear something, some drama or some wild shit, Yeah, sometimes I get the feeling that like VTubers are all like people who I don't know. Like I feel like it's very high school in some ways. It's kind of, but then again, it's like a lot of the streaming space as well in general. A lot of it is just like toxic. It's bullshit. It's just like it's cringe. It's high school. It's so high school for like so much of it. Yeah. I think there's some nice stuff with VTubing. I think that Iron Mouse has a very heartwarming story, I think. I know Iron Mouse was in a not a conspiracy, a controversy recently, but bar that, I think that yeah, the Iron Mouse's story is very like wholesome, I guess. And I really like the art. I think the VTubing like art aspect of all of it, the models, the way that they do it, it's so interesting, it's so cool. It's just beautiful. It's so cool, I think. Feels hella cringe. Yeah, I mean I think it's a really cool thing, but I don't personally watch it, I guess. I don't know. You're supposed to from Puerto Rico. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I guess. I don't know. What did you expect? What did you expect, I guess? I think a lot of people maybe expect them to be like Japanese or something, or like white women. White women. But it really could be just like anyone. It could be Jeff. It could be Jeff from down the street. You never know. You don't know who's a dog on the internet. Yeah.
I'm not sure what other evidence they want you to submit to take action on AI tracers in their platform. Is it okay just because it's not fully AI but just traced over AI? Because in one case, it was traced not from AI.
Sometimes, yeah, I mean, from what I've heard from like my friends and stuff, they're even in the workplace. In the workplace, you can't escape it. There'll be like 6-year-old ladies who have like a weird, I don't know, vendetta against like the newbies or something. You know? Like one of my friends was getting fully harassed by like this older woman at her work all the time. And even talking shit about my friend behind her back to other employees who are friends with her, who then went to her and said, "Hey, BT dubs, this lady's talking shit about you. We don't believe her, but you should know." It's like, why do we have to be like this? Also, this picture, epic. That is an epic picture.
Back in August 20th, 2025, they had posted a Google Doc about the artist Misui, who also had another account by the name of Foam. They had very viral art and were growing at a ridiculous pace. But this document had essentially killed any shred of reputation they might have built overnight, providing an incredible amount of proof while also giving perspective.
Wait, what? Oh, I'd love to read these documents. Paint's undo can also generate sketches. Oh, wait, what? I'm going to assume these time lapses are not edited, but for those who don't know, there are now methods to generate entire AI art time lapses, so time lapses and speed paints are no longer considered irrefutable proof. Oh shit. Well, that's unfortunate. It really is. It's like how do we get to a place where we can remain like, I don't know, trustworthy as artists, other than just like streaming yourself drawing? Honestly, it's like time lapses, you can't do fucking process shots, you can't do fucking, I don't know. It's like, other than giving people raw files and just streaming yourself drawing, even then that probably will at some point become not enough.
Teru would do it again, and on December 1st, 2025, they would post, "Asami Arts is tracing AI." This is an account with nearly 100,000 followers with
Yeah. I think personally because AI art, oh not AI, sorry, anime art is so popular on Twitter. It's popular on Twitter, it's popular on Pixiv, and then Pixiv, Fanbox, Twitter, like they're all kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, it's hard because I thought at the beginning of this year, Twitter had done some AI stuff to like pictures posted to the platform. And back then I heard people saying like, "Oh, I'm not going to post on Twitter anymore." And then didn't seem to really happen. People still posting their art on Twitter. And now, again, there's like a new thing that's happened with Twitter and pictures and how people can just edit any picture that's posted like really fucking easy. And now people once again are like, I'm not gonna post on Twitter anymore. But I don't know if it's still gonna happen. For me personally, yeah, I'm pretty much done with Twitter for posting like my artwork because I don't think my art's good enough to really be noticed on Twitter. I think the skill ceiling for Twitter art, you have to be like these people, and I'm just not like that. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Is this not like, I don't know. Is this not like a weird selection of art to showcase? True. This is just like
Oh my god, not to mention the incredible table of contents on the left.
You know what's funny? Asami Arts is probably a dude. And you know what's even funny about that? There are people like low-key trying to sext Asami. It's like, you're talking to a dude. It's like people who talk to their OnlyFans chicks and it's just some paid person who sends messages.
Okay, fine. I'm done creaming my pants for now. Let's get into this. This document is 41 pages, but don't let that number scare you. Every page in this document is there for a reason. There's no wasted time. There's no filler. Additionally, a huge chunk of these pages is there to show you proof, images.
Just saying.
It's not 41 pages of just straight yapping. And finally, it is painfully detailed. This document is a work of art, and I don't say this lightly. The first page starts off big, listing everything that Teru is accusing Asami of doing.
Although then again, do you think there are people out there who are like sexually attracted to graffiti? And they travel to places where they see cool graffitis and they just like hug the wall? Hey, you never know.
Form commissioners about ongoing tracer issues. I don't like making docs like this, I don't like accusing people of AI, and I hate scrutinizing others' art or questioning their skill. But at the moment, Asami Arts is taking $120 commissions through VGen while blocking anyone who questions if they use AI.
That's pretty much what I'm trying to say, Clover. Absolutely. I think that, yeah. And listen, I like the style that they have on Twitter, with like the art Twitter and stuff. I like it. I just, I don't know. It's hard. Drawing anime is hard. Having to learn that is really hard. And I've dipped my toes in it sometimes, and I like it, but it's so weird to go from like doing like trying to do realistic proportioned faces and then switching over to anime, and it's like I always hype myself up when I get it done. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, Twitter isn't the be-all end-all of, like, art stuff, you know? You've still got all these other places that you can go to, and I think that, honestly, Instagram might actually be better. I saw an artist trying to test how their accounts would do on Twitter versus Instagram, and I think they were saying that, like, after, I think, 24 hours, Twitter just, like, stops showing your posts, really. Something like that, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't really care for Twitter that much. I think Twitter is more of, like, a place where I might interact with other streamers and stuff. My account is definitely, like, the algorithm is definitely more, like, streamer-centric than it is, like, art-centric, but, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm good.
I understand it's very frustrating to have people constantly doubting your artistic skill, especially when it leads to unnecessary insults or harassment. In this document, I will show you why I believe the odds of Asami Arts tracing over AI are extremely high. Generally, there is always a pattern when people do this. The behavior these tracers exhibit always ends up being very similar. They then go ahead and list some AI.
Yeah, you know, there's actually... God, I'm pausing so much. You know, there's actually a Reddit page, or whatever it's called, a subreddit, where it's called My Boyfriend is an AI or something, and it is just full of these. I'm sure there's one for like girlfriends too, but this is just one my friend showed me specifically, and it is so sad. it is so sad because you see these people who are like saying like, oh, I know the AI like doesn't remember stuff or remembers like little bits, but lately the AI's been remembering so much about me. Like, I kind of feel like it's really learned a lot about me. It's like, oh, that's all I can say about that. It's just, if you ever want to feel depressed, you know, go to that subreddit. It is really sad. I think the is it Sam Altman or something? Whoever the guy is, I think his name's Sam as well. I think there's two Sam heads running around in my mind. But the guy who's like a part of like the whatever ChatGPT guy, he said in an interview, he said like, we didn't anticipate so many people to start having relationships with the AI, and they're like, I'm not sure how far we should let it go. And it's like, bitch, you should not let it go anywhere. Like, it's not good. I don't know, it's like, I know people are lonely and stuff, but I feel like I would much rather people finding friends in like online communities than a fucking AI. Ugh.
Account red flags. The first one being the Twitter/X art account is very new. Most joined after 2021, and there are no other socials associated with that username or similar. This is not the case with Asami Arts, as Asami Arts joined August 2024, but they had a previous account with the username Drawing Asami that joined in 2022, but that was suspended. The second point is, art is constantly deleted when someone points out there are AI elements or comments mentioned.
Okay. There's been a few people who've done the whole like marrying an AI thing, but I don't know how like legit it can be, right? How like you know, how do you consummate your marriage, bro? How do you do that? I don't even know what that means. It's like, wait, is it really true that like you have to have sex after you've been married or some shit to like consummate it? Is that what that's about? How do you know? Your Honor, how do you know? Are you gonna be checking? That's funny, I didn't really think about it. Does Australia have fair use? We have some interesting copyright laws from memory, but wouldn't hurt to freshen up on it, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not sure. I assume we do. I think we do. I think you'd have to, right?
AI are ignored and hidden. The third point, there are multiple sudden changes in art style in a short amount of time. Please note, it is completely normal for artists to study, experiment, and to draw in different styles, but in cases like this, it's kind of drastic. I have to mention, in a lot of these cases, the person tracing will still struggle with line art because you can trace the anatomy and copy the colors and shading of an AI picture, but the AI will not magically improve your lack of experience doing line work. Unfortunately, this point doesn't apply when the image is being traced by a veteran artist.
And as someone who traced when they were like getting started, again, tracing is like, when I'm saying getting started, I mean like when I was like 9 years old. When I was 9 years old, I would trace I would get baking paper. My mum actually showed me how to do this. You get baking paper, you put it on top of whatever you want to trace, because the baking paper, it's paper, but it's like thin enough or like translucent enough that you can actually see what's underneath. And I would trace the images. Alright, tracing. And yeah, the one thing I always notice about tracing is that like when you like resume lines and stuff, it's just very noticeable. Like, yeah, your line work is always gonna be stiff. It's gonna be like unnatural. It's gonna be weird, and until you've actually traced, you might not know what to look for. So I don't know. We're a classy chat.
Hashtag Clover loves Big Chungus LMAO.
That's actually That's actually a Zempic Chungus. Thank you very much. Zempic Chungus. Wait, that's kind of a funny idea.
This person was invited to draw together in a browser-based Canvas website, but their response was that they don't have to prove themselves to anyone or convince anyone. The website in question being magma.com, a site similar to iScribble or Drawpile but online. This is a simple, free way to show people you are not tracing. Text, the line art magically being drawn with no sketch in the background. And in these two different time lapses, we can see exactly that.
Wait. Are you fucking serial right now? Are you serious? See guys, that's not normal. That's not normal.
seconds long. Tara would then say in red highlighted text,
Jesus.
the line art magically being drawn with no sketch in the background.
I will say though, the thing with like this Asami person is that it is really hard to kind of tell that it's AI because I don't know, it's like, is AI this good now? Usually like their hair is kind of a tell with AI, especially like AI anime stuff.
Katie said give me some 4chance blocks. These nuts, over 9,000.
My name is
My
Jeff.
name is Jeff, that's what she said, etc etc lol.
Yeah, we actually rewatched 21-22 Jump Street on the weekend. I don't know, I mean like it's pretty crazy to me that there's like nothing really. Well, actually, to be honest, if you look at this leg's not really. This leg's kind of fucked up, actually. Yeah, not gonna lie, this leg is fucked. Like the hand, like, it can pass. These boobs are crazy, though. Holy moly. I don't know.
And in these two different time lapses, we can.
But your chungus falls off. And it's basically all cancer. Deadpool has cancer chungus.
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool big natural circle jerk.
Okay, cancel you.
My name Jeef.
Cancer chungus? Oh. Cancer chungus. Well, it's time. Drinking!
Certain things. Here you see none of that. Teru then continues. This is how Clip Studio Paint time-lapses
That's why
work. You have to manually press the record time-lapse button. Then the program will begin recording all the strokes and undos you make in every layer. Sometimes, artists forget to press the record button so the time-lapse won't show them working on the sketch. But it will still show the sketch at a low opacity when they are lining. This means that Asami is lining without a sketch to guide her, without corrections, perfectly placing every line with no hesitation.
Dude! But yeah, this is crazy. This is a hallmark of tracing. It really is. The fact that like they just have this like foresight, like, yep, the tit's gonna go there, it's gonna conceal her chin. We got it. Mate, caught in 4K. Or in this case, caught in 1080p.
For Asami's time lapses. But as of October 9th, both time lapses were deleted from her account. Below, I will show some time-lapse GIFs from AI tracers, and a Twitter user who traced an AI image to prove that it's possible to fake a time-lapse in Clip Studio Paint. These time-lapses are very similar to Asami's, where there are no adjustments and the line work is drawn perfectly.
Now, if you guys know, I am an Illyria truther. We watch Illyria's time-lapses and speed paints all the time. And in Illyria's speed paints, you'll notice a lot of the time, when she's doing a sketch, she transforms some bits, she like will change the perspective of some bits using like the perspective tools and stuff. Like she moves things around, and you know, we know she's a real artist. We know she's real, at least. Let's go everyone chat. It's a Christmas miracle today. God bless. God bless Christmas.
Time-lapse. As you can see, there's a lot of changes that happen even in the sketching process. A lot of scaling, moving things around. Nothing is ever certain when you're drawing. Traced from AI, Asami Arts immediately blocked me. On October 8th, she posted a new time-lapse, then deleted the two old time-lapses on October 9th. Both time-lapses had been in her media tab since April 2025. What did Asami Arts have to say about this? She was contacted via VGen regarding proof of her art not being traced over AI during October 8th. When questioned about how she managed to do the line art without a sketch, this was her reply.
Okay. Practicing with beautiful lines after without sketches and thick outlines would make you proud to do it yourself. Excuse me, but people tend to misunderstand. Yeah, so this is, man, I feel like I hear this a lot. Very defensive message. But they're basically just being like, listen, I can do it, and anyone would like to be able to do it, I can do. If you can't do what I do, then you're just jealous of me. This happens all the freaking time, bro. Because only someone who is like able to do all this like tracing, faking, pretending, only someone like that would have the attitude of like being like, I don't know, so uppity up themselves. But yeah, they probably did. Man, I feel like there was someone else who was using AI for message stuff that I don't remember, but likely.
language, and that's why she
They
typed it
probably
that
are
way,
in love
but
with
the
the
other
AI.
messages are not written in the same vague style. It's basically a non-answer. As she mentioned in her first message, she posted a new time-lapse during October 8th. And again, it's a 30-second time-lapse, and you can even see the hand of whoever Asami is on top of the tablet that they're using to draw. So after Asami's very weird worded reply, the person who was asking her about those perfect lines would say, just to be clear, let me know if I understood properly. The Clip Studio time-lapse without a sketch is because you have 8 years of experience?
Yeah, so... Okay. Again. The only time I've seen people paint without using sketches is when they kind of paint like a painterly style. I have seen it before like all the AI stuff, like years and years ago. Oh my god. I remember because there was this video on YouTube that left me so... I don't want to say upset, but it left me feeling like I cannot believe there are people out there who just have a background and just get started, and they don't do all this stuff, they don't do the line work, they don't do the sketches, and they can just paint. But to be clear, there was still foundational work that they had to put down, from memory anyway. And like to do line art out of thin air, it's just not possible. Especially like good line art. Like you can try, but it's just not possible without having to do some sort of like what do you call it? Edits, tweaks. It's not possible to do no tweaks. Yeah.
I lost
I
my
hope
drawings
so.
from 2017 onwards. As you can imagine, a lot of time has passed. And now Teru continues, saying,
Okay,
Asami is claiming here that she erases and redos her drawings many times, but Clip Studio only records the video from where you last left off to speed up the drawing process. This is not true.
The type of AI is like, I'm not an AI hater, but from what you will see, like, bro, I'm against that. It's actually stealing art, you'll see. Will we ever get to it? It's been an hour and a half. Will we get there? Dude, I fucking love this so much because like when I'm on DeviantArt, my DeviantArt is full of like AI stuff, right? I think DeviantArt in general is just full of AI stuff. The AI people will always have in their profiles like, please don't repost, please don't take my stuff, please don't do anything. This is my original artwork, and it's like it's AI. Like they have AI in the name, and it's just like. It's so funny. These people want to LARP as like artists so hard, and it's like they want the prestige of being an artiste, but they won't put in the effort. They just won't do it. I have to say, I feel like I look like a chungus chungus penis. I feel like a chungus penis right now. Anyway, Clip Studio making a cameo. Yeah, Clip Studio is there, you know.
AI. How do you prove your art is legit? On October 10th, 2025, it was forwarded.
Would you be okay drawing on a shared canvas at the same time with another artist using an online canvas? Listen, I'm not gonna lie, magma.com, it's not great. I'm pretty sure I've used it. It's not great. Should I be reading it? What? I'm meant to read it too. Isn't he meant to read it to me? Like, hello? Is this shared reading time or what?
That I'd be willing to draw with Asami on magma.com in real time.
Alright, you want to draw with them?
The website
Okay,
works
got it.
perfectly on an iPad, and you can set the time and date. Asami
Yeah, but the problem with Magma I experience is that it's laggy. It's like really laggy. Magma is like an online browser type thing. Thank you, dearie. It's like an online browser type thing where you can draw on a canvas with other people. So, like, if you wanted to like stream or something and draw with people, you could do that. From memory, I think so. Yeah, there's not many things like that. So Magma, I think, is like a big one. I was actually, funnily enough, gonna do that with Deadpool is Online. But yeah. Yeah, I guess that's like the idea, right? I mean, it's an avenue. I actually, back when I was in uni, me and all my uni course people, we all went on a canvas together at one point. It was so fun. It actually is like a really fun thing to do. Really cool. Yeah. Alright, I don't need to keep proving myself over and over again because of what people say about me. People will say anything about me, but it's not my fault that they're jealous. I won't take part in the witch hunts or hate culture that start when people put themselves above others. Who's doing that? The internet is a free place. You're free to believe whatever you want. If my previous time lapses didn't convince you, excuse me, nothing I do now will. And honestly, I don't have to convince anyone. Excuse me. Throwing accusations online and demanding proof is just ridiculous. They always do this. They always do this. You'd probably say, see? No reply. What's that? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. They did a, what's that called? What's that thing called that ChatGPT does all the time?
No one has to commission you, but the people who are commissioning you are doing it because they expect to receive an illustration that was drawn by you with your own skills and not something you generated and traced over. Just like last time, this isn't even specifically about AI art. Tracing and plagiarizing has always been a thing in the art community. AI has just made this issue way more common because it's easy to just generate an image and delete it once you're done tracing it. PSD, and I've also explained my workflow in good faith. After sharing the same file with other artist friends, they've all agreed in unison that it's more than enough proof to demonstrate that my work is my own for someone who's acting in good faith. At this point, I feel like you've already elaborated your own opinion on me and that nothing that I might do or say will change it. And that's okay. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I do not think less of you just because of what you think of me. But you have to understand that I really don't feel comfortable continuing this conversation anymore or doing a live drawing session with you. I really wish you the best, but I would like to step away from this conversation now. I don't expect you to agree with me, but I will block you now, and I will also block you.
I don't know, for me personally, I don't know. I feel like you don't have to do a, whatchamacallit, a live drawing session. I can see, like, why people would maybe be a bit uncomfortable entering something like that. Maybe, actually, then again, I don't know. Maybe not. Like, again, you could just record yourself physically drawing, but, yeah. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. No, I was thinking to myself, like, I can see myself being, like, if someone wanted to be in a live drawing session, like, concerned about, like, I was thinking, like, concern over, like, IP, but then I was like, well, if it's, like, a third-party website, like Magma, I don't think someone's gonna be, like, taking your IP and stuff from that. I don't think. I mean, that's just something that I would probably be more, assuming of, like, cautionary of, but then it's like, I don't think that's a site where you get, and you can just get a VPN. It's like, yeah. I mean, Asami or whatever the fuck their name is, they can afford a VPN. If they're selling sketches at 120, they can afford a VPN. So I, like, even then, like, the argument in my head kind of fell flat. And even then, thinking as an artist myself, if someone was like wanted me to prove that, then I would want to prove that I'm an artist, and I would be able to, and it wouldn't be a problem, you know? Yeah, and debating. Okay. I feel like I've heard Steelman used, but not in that kind of context. Huh. Every day is a learning day. Every day is a school day, as Kenny says. Yeah, for me it's a bit different because I actually stream drawing and stuff, but in the hypothetical scenario, you know, in the hypotheticals of things, and also I have my what do you call it? But again, Clover, the problem is that excuse me, there are artists like User who has been drawing since before I was even on the internet, like before I was born probably, and he was also, I think it's a he, sorry, actually I don't know who User is, might be a she actually. User recently admitted to using artwork and training an AI off of their art, and a lot of people were very upset with them for that. But it's like, even like artists like User, who has so much experience, so much evidence, so much like knowledge, even they sometimes go, hey, I'm gonna do AI, because it's like cutting the process for them or something, I don't know.
Terry would then continue in the document saying, for the record, I also believe that person is most likely tracing, but unlike Asami, they are not taking commissions, and this doc isn't about them. However, the similarities are there, and I found the timing to be astonishing. Most of the time, AI tracers will immediately deflect or become hostile when people start pointing out the issues and inconsistencies with their art. The screenshot on the right is from foam/Misui, replying to someone on Twitter DMs after people questioned if they were using AI. Here we can see a reply that's definitely more hostile in a group.
Wait a second, I'll read this. Message from person A. If you're interested, I can host a Magma board. Yeah, see, if someone is individually hosting a Magma board, it's like I do wonder if they can see IP addresses from that. I have no idea, but that's just something I personally would think about. I don't know. Okay, so the AI tracer allegedly said, with all due respect, I've shared my PSD and have also explained my workflow in good faith. After sharing the same file with other artist friends, they've all agreed in unison that's more than enough proof to demonstrate that my work is my own for someone who's acting in good faith. Good faith, okay. At this point, I feel like you've already elaborated your own opinion on me and that nothing that I might do or say will change it. And that's okay! It's ChatGPT-esque response. It's like, wow, you really notice the finer details, and that makes you a star. Shut up. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I do not think less of you just because... Oh, right, he talked about it. So sorry. Yeah, okay.
To what Asami had replied with. Instead of saying, hey, I can't make you understand, so I'll just say goodbye, they try to refute the arguments directly, saying, so what? Yes, I'm uploading detailed art daily. So what? That was the tone that was given here. This leads us to the next section in the document.
It's always like this. So what? I'm just really, really good at art. Cheers! There's another method you would use to get evidence. So, if people are... Why wouldn't people accept a PSD document? Well... Because you could just delete the AI reference file if it's in the PSD, right? So, I mean, you could just do that. Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, like, with the Asami person, it's like, if they're coloring it themselves... Like, it seems like they have some skill, some level of talent, but... I don't know. I mean, it probably goes back to, like, the user thing. User might use AI to generate, like, ideas and stuff, but user still has phenomenal, like, rendering skills and stuff, but I don't know. Why would you want private layers for Clip Studio? Yeah, like, it's same... So it mentioned but not addressed. I didn't even know we were doing that. We can do private layers? What does that mean? Why would you want that? Again, like, yeah, it's very it's one of those things where, like, if you're being truthful with it, if you're doing it right, it's obvious. But if you're doing all these, if there's things that don't line up, these things that don't make sense, it's like, what are you hiding? What do you have to hide? But okay, let's see.
Titled Refusing to Provide Evidence When Questioned. Asami's current media tab is missing a lot of her art since the posts have been deleted, most of the time because people pointed out AI inconsistencies. Her previous account, Drawing Asami, was suspended. I don't know the reason for the suspension, but even back then in 2024, people were suspicious of her using AI.
Oh. Yeah, again, like, as I was saying before, I can't really think of many reasons why you wouldn't just give people, like, your raw files, like... Yeah, I can't really think of a lot of reasons why I personally wouldn't do it. But even then, it's like, I think that that's probably not the best evidence. I don't know. And again, like I said, people can just delete the files that... Oh, sorry, the layers that they traced over or something and try to do, like, a mock sketch or something. Excuse me. Yeah. I have no idea what private layers are. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. And listen, this is evidence enough. I have no idea what the fuck private layers are because I have never needed them. I will never need them. The only reason you know about that stuff is, if, in my opinion, if you're getting up to some fishy business. Let me look this shit up. Private layers? Are you jorking it? On my Patreon, the top tier, the premium tier, tier 4 or whatever, I actually provide my raw CSP file from the drawing that I do. Yeah, I started doing that. Because again, it's like, there's no reason not to share it, right? I don't think so. That's why I never delete really layers. I have a trash bin that I put in my layers. I have a folder that's a trash bin, and that's where I put all the layers I end up, like, not using. Because I think it's interesting, you know? I think it's kind of cool. It's messy. Don't get me wrong, it's messy, but if someone's interested, they can have a look if they want. And I think that's awesome. Alright, Is there a way to make a private layer that won't show up in the time lapse? The only thing I can think of is if you're like you're doing like maybe an NSFW drawing and your reference is like yourself, and you don't want that to show up. Like I guess I could see that. Like, but that's like a very like I could see that. Yeah. No, it doesn't take I have some big SSDs, so I'm not worried about space at the moment. What I did do is I made a zip folder. I zipped up and compressed a bunch of my work, and I actually have a zip folder of like 2 years of work or something on my Patreon. So there's actually like a nice big zip file on there where people can download a whole zip file, gigabytes of my work.
Notice how different the art style is compared to her current style. I will talk more about that later. I was
Maybe
not
they
able
just
to
got
recover
really,
any of her
really
replies as the
good.
account was suspended. This leads us to the next section, titled AI Errors in the Art.
It's so weird. It's just like, man, why is... Oh yeah, gun. It's an interesting gun. Honestly, I am not good at guns. I find guns to be very boring to draw, so I... Me personally, I probably... Listen, this is an instance where if I was to draw a gun, I'm gonna be so for real, I probably get like a 3D model and trace over it. I think everyone
I try not
does
to
it.
be nitpicky about errors in art because human errors are a thing too, and I have seen people accuse others of AI because of
Yeah.
mistakes in their art that can be attributed to human error. It only becomes so evident when these mistakes happen on almost every single image.
What looks wrong here? You know what I will say is like the hair, the way that the hairline art goes, it's very like stiff. It's very stiff and like choppy like. But again, it's like one of those things where if you don't know it's AI, you probably could just like hand wave it and go like, listen, it's probably just, you know, they didn't spend that much time on that part or something. But then like you look at the ripples of the clothing, when people, when people, oh, they talk about hair later? Okay, cool. But like when you look at the ripples of the clothes, like that's just not how people draw the clothing. Same with that. That's just like, that is very interesting. That really does give like artificial, doesn't it? Those two lines specifically. They talk about? That's good. Like here you can see the hair kind of like is still doing that weird thing that the AI really had trouble with in the beginning. And there was another example that I didn't touch on earlier that kind of made me go like, I don't know, man. It's just, it is getting really hard to tell though. Fuck.
I will point out the most blatant ones only. The first one is gun muzzle placement. The drawing itself would be of someone pointing a gun at a cat girl that seems to be really into it. I mean,
Wait a second. Isn't this meant to be... Hang on a second. Is this flipped? I just noticed this. Wait a second. That is the most... What? It's like whoever, if this gun went through it. Listen, I don't know guns. I'm not a gun person, but listen man, I played enough Fortnite to know that part's not meant to be that way.
Tara would say, I'm not an
Bro.
expert at drawing guns, so when I draw them I use tons of references or 3D models. But it's just humanly not possible to make a mistake like this
No.
if you even bother to look up a single handgun or Google images.
Yeah, that's... Oh, look, there's... See how easy it is? You just find a reference like that and you just draw it. The fuck, bro? How do you fuck that up? That is literally like the fuck up of the century, dude. It's like you don't even want to take credit for that and be like, yeah, I drew this and I just drew the gun in a really stupid way. You don't want to take credit for that, bro. That's shit.
Tara would argue there are hair pieces that are not connected to the main hair. Bear in mind, these two drawings have been deleted. They're from Assam.
Oh, yeah, that's like a... Listen, sometimes when I'm drawing hair, especially like really long hair, I have that problem too where I'm like, okay, does it actually like connect? But I'm actually thinking about that when I'm doing it instead of doing something like this, and then I'll try to look, if I've done rendering, I'll try to zoom out and look at it and see like, is everything connected and stuff? Yeah, the hair has been a very big tell for a long time because hair is like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say complicated, but it can be It can be complicated. It can, and listen, if you're a stupid little fucking AI, who's it or what, you're not gonna know the logic behind hair because you don't have logic. You don't remember stuff. But sometimes it just happens. But then, like, having hair that just doesn't connect at all is like, especially as someone of like this, like, skill level, like, it just doesn't happen. Yeah, that's why zooming in can be like, you know, a bit of a mistake. I think it's good to just maybe lay your foundations without zooming in too much. That's good. And then if your foundations are good, then your drawing should be good, you know? But hair was a really big struggle for a very long time. My hair would often have very, like, stiff, flat lines, like, very flat looking. And I think another thing that helps hair not look as flat is just not relying so much on outlining. I think there's a trap that you can fall into with hair is that you try to, like, outline and define every single strand, and in my experience, you just can't do that. You just cannot rely on really, like, OCD, the outlining everything. It's probably not right to call it OCD, but you just have to, yeah. I feel like I'm ranting a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of what I had to get over. I had to get over doing all that outlining business. Because less is more, if you think about it. Healthy hair. We love
the
healthy
hair is so disconnected and just lacks coherence everywhere. However, it is too JPEG artifacted for me to be able to tell if it was generated or not. And Tara would take the time to link a definition as to what that means.
That hair, but I mean, oh god, why do they have to draw these fucking, like, toddler looking ass characters? It's so so weird. The buttons, yeah, I mean, like, they kind of can get away with some of this stuff. Like, it's not super egregious, I guess. The hand is like, okay, that forefinger, that is really off when you look at it. And then, oh my god, this is like the biggest tell. Look at where the right ear and the head, it's like, what? That's, and then how the eye bulges out, that's horrible. That's horrifying. That looks like shit. That is like such a big tell that this is fucking and then look at the eyes as well. The eyes are like two completely different eyes. Again, someone of this skill level would not be drawing eyes that are like that. I don't even know how to describe what that is. Because people just do not do that.
Here's an example of a looping hair strand. It starts at the root of your head, goes down to your shoulders, and somehow goes back up to loop back to your root. That's not how hair works.
Clover, it's not drawing shit, mate. It's not drawing shit. What it is, it's a mishmash of, like, real artists who can draw. And I mean, you could say that you do loops because they stop doing that. Stop doing that. Don't do it out of laziness. Do it because you don't want to get into the habit of doing that. You want to build good habits, dude. Listen. It's like you say that this is good, but is a drawing really good? Is an image really worth it and good if when you look at it deep down and it's just not good? Do you know what I mean? I might be a little bit tipsy right now, but is it good if it's not good? Hair will get easier with practice. The hair loops thing is like, it'll get easier. If, I don't know, I'd just say, don't do it. Practice. Because how are you gonna get good at drawing the real thing if you don't practice the real thing? You know? You don't get good at drawing eyes by copy and pasting eyes. You get good at drawing eyes because you have experience doing different, like, perspectives and eyes and stuff. You know? Every drawing is like, think of it as like an XP bar. Level up. Do you level up in Final Fantasy by, I don't know, letting someone else who's not in your party kill the frogs, right? No. You level up in Final Fantasy by doing the work yourself. That was a great analogy. Tipsy. I know, it's only one standard drink too, which is like crazy. Okay.
AI generated, not even traced. The shadows don't match the shadow source or have different hues. Hair chunks are
that
not
too.
coherent. The ribbon of the character has 3 bows, when instead it
Now
should be
it
2.
is.
This is important because when you're an artist, you spend much time drawing an illustration of this caliber. One could argue about the artistic liberties an artist can take while drawing an official outfit. For example, and if you are familiar, Tohu project characters. Maybe the switch from pantyhose to thighs.
Yeah, I will say that, listen, sometimes if I'm drawing fan art of a character, I'm not steel manning, I'm just talking about myself. I'm talking about myself for once. Sometimes I take liberties with, like, creativity, because there'll be times where I'm drawing a character and there's parts of, like, their outfit that's, like, I can't be bothered drawing, or I personally like, the thigh-high look. I'm not, like, a fan of, like, the pantyhose look. Feels weird saying that. I don't know why. It's just clothing. But yeah, like sometimes I take creative liberties on that, because that's what I like. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like people. Again, my my SFW Gwen work that I did where I drew her whole outfit. I did kind of give her like heels on her shoes, but the reason why I did that is because a reference I was looking at had it, and I thought that was what it was like. And then I looked at the 3D model in-game, and I was like, okay, she doesn't have that. But I'm also, like, not a fan of, like, the ballet flat look. I don't think it looks nice. I'm not a fan of that. And on top of that, yeah, sometimes you just like what we like, you know. This is, like, nothing to do with this, though. I mean, I guess. I would say that this is a worse example, because it's like, yeah, like why would you do a cross on one side of the lapel, and then I think it's called a lapel or something, or the collar. It's called a collar. Why would you do it on one side, not the other? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Why would you, like, the love heart here is actually pretty cute. I don't mind that, but yeah, it's okay. And then like we got stars here instead of the pluses. I mean, that's okay. Sometimes like I don't want to do details and like all of like the reference, and even sometimes the League of Legends splash art will have things in it that the 3D model just doesn't have. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if I would totally consider like this to be like a smoking gun or whatever, but it really just depends, doesn't it? There are some details like the symbols and stuff where you'd be a little bit more sussy Barker about it, right?
Was because the artist
it.
specifically wanted to show the underwear. However, there are too many elements that are also missing. And here we can see a comparison. On the left, Asami's drawing. On the right, the official drawing. One of the document, Terry would then say, the next example about a character not matching their official design will lead into my next point of AI that is trained with popular artists' works, emulating their style very accurately. In order to present that, I will quickly explain some info regarding AI models. Low-rank adaptation, otherwise known as LoRA, is a technique used to adapt machine learning models to new contexts. It can adapt large models to specific uses by adding lightweight pieces to the original model rather than changing the entire model. A data scientist can quickly expand the ways that a model can be used rather than requiring them to build an entirely new model.
Wait, is this like when with some generative AI it'll be like, oh, add a picture here and then we'll do something to the picture? Is that what it is? Used to adapt machine learning models to new contexts. It can adapt large models to specific uses by adding lightweight pieces. Oh, you know what it reminds me? Oh, like the Studio Ghibli or whatever. It's different than that. Yeah, what? I feel like that description is confusing me. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't remember the 2022 AI images too much. Training on an artist? What? What does it mean by lightweight pieces? So, you have an AI model, I'm guessing, that's been, trained off all the stuff on the internet, and then you take all... Okay, changes the weight of specific adapters so that the paths it takes in decision-making on the model is weighted different. So... So yeah, you have an AI that's trained off let's say all the anime images in the world, and then you take like all of Studio Ghibli's like art, and you give it some of that, and then it uses all that other stuff and the Ghibli to make more like Ghibli stuff or something. Oh, it says here, basically the LoRa is a smaller model that is trained with very specific data that helps fine-tune details in other larger models. This isn't just done for character costumes or only, but also things like hands, poses, and most importantly, specific art styles. Low rank adaptation. Think of Gen AI making anime art, but Laura's would be making Gen AI on a specific artist. Yeah, and then other people can use those models, can't they? Like it happened to Sam Does Art or something. Yeah, that stuff is so fucked. I've seen like really classic like artists that's happened to them and stuff, and it's just, yeah. Oh, it's you know what's so devastating? I actually saw a DeviantArt picture and I went, that looks a lot like Kitu's art. I love Kitu. And you know what's so fucked up is that it actually takes the watermark and it has the watermark in the picture. And it's like you recognize the watermark because it's like it's that, but like the text maybe is a bit jumbled because it's fucking stupid. And it's like, I know who this is stolen off of.
Basically, the LoRa is a smaller model that is trained with very specific data that helps fine-tune details in other larger models. This isn't just done for character costumes only, but also things like hands, poses, and most importantly, in this case, specific art styles.
Jesus.
You see where we're going with this?
Yeah. I personally haven't experienced this, but I do sometimes wonder, I know other artists have done this out of the curiosity, like wonder like if I trained an AI off of my own art or whatever, or you made it to copy my art style, like what could it make and stuff. And I heard artists who just didn't have a good time with it, like it just ended up being like shit and stuff, and like I do sometimes wonder like what could it generate off of like my art. Because I do some like weird stuff sometimes, but it's like I'd never do anything like that, and I don't expect anyone would want to do that with my art, but it's not really about that, is it? It's like, anyway, it could happen, but you also don't need it to have happened to you to be able to sympathize with the people it is happening to. Like, oh my god. Yeah. Bro says he's smart, has a degree in AI. Bro, you're a genius. He just doesn't want us to call him a smarty pants. He's just avoiding the label. Smarty pants, smarty pants.
Design inconsistent.
I did say, mark my words, if the AI ever did become sentient, it would want to kill itself because of how much fucking deviant, disgusting, gooner freak shit it has been forced to generate. It's like Rick and Morty when the robot finds out it was made to just serve butter. Am I wrong? The AI is going to be like, holy shit, what have you people made me do? It's fucked up. Drinking!
On June 28th, 2025, the VTuber Sameko Saba debuted. Let's just say, Saba's debut was highly anticipated by a lot of people,
it was before
and tons
my
of artists
birthday.
were eager to see her design and draw fan art of her. A few days before her debut, Saba started posting some teasers that showed some parts of her design, so fans were uploading their own design predictions and started working on fan art before the debut date.
That's cute. If post enough art, someone can be shit enough to train Laura reminds me of the Lorax. Yeah, an undercut artist. Yeah, for sure. It's like anyone could be a victim of that, for sure. I think I just sometimes think of it as like, listen, people used to take my Patreon stuff and upload it to like freebooting websites and stuff. That doesn't even happen anymore. Which is hard. It's kind of hard not to feel like, oh, people don't want to look at my art anymore. Again, it's kind of a different thing. Like, I feel like the piracy stuff of like my Patreon stuff, I don't like tend to get too bogged down on it, even when it was happening. In fact, I didn't even really know about it until like ages later. But I tend not to get bogged down by that. But like, this is a whole different thing, though. I feel like this is on a different level than someone taking your Patreon stuff and posting it somewhere else. This is on a whole different level. It's like, you know what? It's like Annihilation, the movie. You know, in Annihilation, at the end, when Natalie Portman's character gets, like, seemingly copied by, like, the alien thing? Whoa. It's like that. God, I feel so stupid today. Artists post their art all It's like, you can't even be an artist on the internet without, like, this being a risk, you know? Like, people tried to do, like, the Nightshade thing. I don't know if the Nightshade thing works. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not sure. But people tried to prevent it.
Earliest AI Lauras I can find of Saba were uploaded June 24th,
yeah.
2025,
That's what I was afraid
trained
of.
with the artworks that were guessing what she would look like. Because of this, the design that was generated by AI with these Lauras was inaccurate. The June 24th, 2025 upload times for the Laura model shown on the right are 5:50 p.m. EST and 6:40 p.m. EST. On June 25th, 2025, Asami Arts posted a Saba fan art. Keep in mind, at this point, there were only teasers.
There are techniques around it? Really? Is that true? Oh. I haven't heard much about it except for, like, the Nightshade stuff, so I'm really not in the know about that. Man, I don't even watermark my work most of the time anyway. I don't know. I probably should do it. I think it came from, like, this laziness where I had a watermark and it was something that I really just put together in, like, 2 seconds. But when I look at people like Kitu who have a really pretty watermark, Illyria has, like, a really nice signature. Dude, I am not writing a signature. I cannot. Excuse me. I've got to make, like, a nice signature, like, watermark thing. Just because I kind of want to have it. Because, not for... I feel like watermarks don't really work. I'd like to think they do. I don't think they really do. I don't think they really do what people want them to do. But as, like, an artist signing their work kind of thing, I like that idea. And I would want to do that a bit more, maybe.
Some people were surprised, praising Asami's talent, while others were like, yeah, this is a trace, thanks. Terry would continue, something very important to consider is that the style change needs to happen after an AI model / Laura is uploaded online. If the Laura was not available online by the time of the sudden style change, I would not consider it a possibility for the art to be traced
That's
from
a good
AI.
point.
But I'm also aware anyone can train their own models offline and not share them with anyone.
Yeah,
In
that's
Asami's case, and this is just an estimate based on Dan Buru upload dates, the ICSI style
Sometimes I do think that my art style changes in weird ways. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I look at so many different references and I'm always so inspired by different people. And there's so much variation there. I would say anyway. So I feel like sometimes when I'm drawing, like, a face, for instance, I could be looking at so many different references. All the way from, like, fucking Illyria to, like, people like Kitu, cute sexy robots, and then looking at fucking some classical art, you know? I look at, like, a whole spectrum of things and I get really inspired by all these different places, and sometimes I think that makes my art kind of weird. That's what I think of it. But in terms like this, yeah.
I'm gonna join
It
and see,
adapts.
like, no one I recognize and be like, fucking what?
It's learning.
change happened around June 2024. For example, the model to the right was published in August.
I guess so. It's one of those things where I think I have, like, it's not like body dysmorphia, it's like art dysmorphia or something, right? Does that make sense? It's like, I think that the way that you see my art, or like anyone else looking at it, is different to the way that I see my own art. Which is always going to be happening. Oh, my straw doesn't fit the whole thing. I'm going to have to drink it like a bogan. So I think it's just like the perspective is just maybe different there. Yeah.
Style. You don't simply go from the left drawing to the right drawing in a month. It's just not humanly possible. Just like how you can't just start playing a sport today and go to the
Yeah.
Olympics next month. It doesn't happen. The thing I notice is that while Asami is following both
Alright.
Ixi and Ogipot in Blue Sky, Eku Akura is blocked. Asami's Blue Sky was created February 7th, 2024, and they were blocked on
What?
February 28th, 2024. They would include the source. Oh my god, they include the source. Clear Sky. And it's a website where you can see who people are blocking.
Wait a second. You can see who people block on Blue Sky? Huh? Source Clear Sky. Okay. Yeah, maybe I heard about that or something. I don't know. I think some of the I don't know what they're called, but some of the clusters that I'm a part of in Blue Sky, they do have. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's just blocking, but yeah. Okay.
That
Ow.
said, after a bit more digging, I found a model that was uploaded on October 24th, 2023. There will always be the possibility that these are simply heavily referenced and not generated with AI and then traced, but somehow these exhibit.
Really? So like, if my community had people from like, God, what's the name? Dream. It's like when that person banned all the people who were following Dream out of their Twitch stream. Anyway, funny stuff, guys. Hilarious.
But I want to
Wow.
share some comparisons of the style change
Wait,
with the same
what?
characters across less than a year. So as you can see, all these different drawings by Asami
That's
were in
crazy.
2024. The differences between art styles is astounding. Again, you might not be familiar with art, but all you have to do is go to like a famous artist's profile and see their drawings. This doesn't happen.
That is really interesting. It is crazy how like there isn't really like a signature look. There isn't something that's like that's what that artist does. Because it's true. Like when you draw something, it's like the way that you perceive things is going to be so unique to what anyone else would think. And it's like for me personally, like maybe eyes isn't a good example of that, but there are certain things that I look at that I really like having in my art, and that will follow you across your art because it's like you like what you like, right? Whereas like the generation, it's like the generated PNGs, they don't have a thing that it likes. It can't like things, you know? So then everything's just kind of like different. I think that made it obvious too is with how much the hairstyle change the style changes and how fast and with how much they pose. Yeah, another thing is like, I don't know, man, there's some artists out there who are pretty quick with like their output and stuff, but it can be so dependent, and it's like, again, these people, it's like abnormally quick, I would say, and you know, sometimes the level of detail, it's like, what's really going on here? And because they're not like, you know, presumably they're not really real artists, they don't know how long the process takes. They just post a picture and they're not thinking about the length of time really because they haven't studied it. They don't know, what the length of time should be.
As observed, there's a constant and very distinct change in styles, but besides that, improvement completely stalls. So far, I've tried not to nitpick at errors that could be human in nature.
How can one style change if one style isn't contained in one genre? Makes it stylistically different. What causes a discrepancy between illustrations and art? What is art? Art is when banana on wall. That's what I say. That's what I like to say. Art is when toilet. Oh my god, my left eye is like twitching like crazy. It's all that exercise. My eye is like... Yeah, I imagine Asymptote probably feels the same as all of us with it.
But there are some issues that can't be dismissed. There are pieces where the perspective seems flawlessly executed, but then there are artworks with dynamic poses that have anatomy mistakes and proportions are always different between images. If an artist has somehow mastered multiple styles in less than a year, seems to have knowledge of anatomy, to a fluctuating degree, and dynamic poses, with over 8 years of experience, you would expect them to know how patterns wrap or bend around clothing and how to execute it in their art program of choice instead of multiplying a font layer and using the free transform tool with no account for the curvature of the body.
I don't even know if there's enough of my stuff to really make a good Laura though. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these artists have a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't know. So far, this is probably one of the benefits of maybe having a not so mainstream art style, is that if your art style isn't coveted, then I guess no one's really going to bother doing this with your art. But these poor people who have had this happen, it's just... it's horrible.
Section titled Art Chronologically, and oh my god, is this not a self-report? Teru is a goddamn detective. I'm telling you, dude, you don't want to piss them off, otherwise they'll make a document to ruin you. We'd also see some art that Asami drew in 2022, and again, huge difference than what would happen.
Again, it's like, if this is like their actual art, then it's like... Listen, it's creepy, I'll give it that, but if we're going to talk about like just skill, it's not like they weren't... Like, I don't know. At least they were actually trying back here. I mean, this is fucking creepy to look at, but I'd only really judge them like that because I don't really like people who rely on AI for their stuff. You know, back when they were actually trying, at least it had. But then again, it's like, how do you even know if this is even like their stuff? You know, when you start tracing AI and doing AI, it's like then even like your past work, how can you even trust that? You know? And it is funny how sometimes I've seen it myself where I'll look at a profile that's doing like AI stuff, and then I'll look at like their past works, and it's so interesting when you see where they actually were trying, and they post like pictures of their sketchbook and stuff, and then you see the AI stuff and it's like, it says a lot about a person, don't you think? The word art has lost its meaning. No, I think that art just in and of itself is just all-encompassing. It's an umbrella term of sorts. Yeah, umbrella term.
Happen 2023 onwards. The massive shift would truly happen on January 2023, where we'd go from a clear art style that belonged to Asami to extremely professional art that was heavily inspired by other people. At the same time, this is when AI backgrounds start to show up too. 23 is actually from Etsy. Someone purchased a commission from Asami on Etsy, and that person left a review. They say, "This is my second time working with Asami. However, this time I let her control my outfit, but she changed my character entirely, so it doesn't even look like me. I'm a little upset that she wanted to charge me $25 for two things that should have been there in the first place. The sketch didn't look like the final product. If you tell them you want one thing, they draw something else, and they can't change it. Why? Because they didn't draw it."
The brushes you use as well is going to be very I don't know, it's going to be carried throughout like your art and stuff, and like sometimes you change brushes, but when you get a brush you really like and you stick to it, like that kind of becomes a part of, I don't know, your process and stuff, and that's going to be shown in it, I think. Alright, what? I feel like if you commission something and you don't get progress pics, that's a red flag. Yeah, but Arcoil, if you saw the beginning of the video, if you were here, there are now AI models that are made to generate speed paints and time lapses and process pictures from memory. Yeah. You're excited for your drawing class? Ooh. You direct inspo for taking the class? Aw. Clover, I'm so glad that you were taking drawing classes. That's a really cool move to take. That's really awesome, and I can be inspo for that then. Yeah, I'll take it. Shucks, thanks. Yeah, you make changes. Yeah, you know, that's true, and I think that, yeah, if you don't get process pics, I mean, also, like, if I was gonna draw someone, like if someone commissions me, and I give them a drawing and there's like something they're not happy with, I would change things, you know? Like, I'd be like, oh, you know, if this thing didn't turn out exactly how you wanted it, I can change things. Some people have clauses where they allow the commission to have like 3 what do they call it? Redos, tweaks. They have a special term for it, but I forgot. Yeah, like, you know, some people do that. Some people have limitations. Some people allow as many reworks as the buyer wants. I don't know if Etsy is really a place that is good for having that happen. The way Etsy, the way Etsy operates, don't really know. I think Pixiv might have a system in place for changing things. I think. Don't know. Yeah. Show my actual homework in the Discord tonight. Yeah, I look forward to it. I love to see what you're doing. Yeah, there's a lot of AI in Redbubble too. There is a lot of it. Yippee! Yippee! God. Dude, I am blasted. Yeah. It actually sucks. You see like these profiles and they have all these things and a lot of them look really cool, and then you look up close and it's like, oh, it's AI. Yeah. I'm on my second drink now. Listen, the plank really made it go to my head, dude.
Executioner. What you see in the picture is the way this person attacks me. This is who you're supporting. I don't have to prove myself to anyone, but by supporting people like this, you're choosing what kind of person you are. You're doing a witch hunt, but I don't really enjoy tanning. While her own drawings don't even...
You're doing it... Oh, because like witches would be burned? Oh, and they use M dashes in their response. I know. It's interesting. Some would deem that interesting. Also, own drawings don't even get 1k likes. Her attacks get thousands of likes. Do you think this? Yeah, I think I actually remember seeing this on my own timeline. Yeah. They're attacking their own art and stuff. See, this is another thing that these people do, is they go like, you're just jealous of me because you're not as good as me. I'm really, really good. Like, bitch please.
Time lapse with them drawing their character. Here's what was said. Long time ago, when I first opened my Etsy, my art really wasn't good. I even used the first cute picture I found online as my profile image. I didn't even know what AI was back then.
Wait,
and if you look
what?
at my old...
I checked my
Why would
fucking
you
items,
open
like,
an account selling art and then not even have your profile image be your own art? Like, if you don't feel confident enough to draw your own fucking profile picture and to just use whatever you find online, then how the hell do you have the gall to sell art on Etsy? That just doesn't really fucking make sense to me. You just draw your own fucking thing. What the fuck? I'm glad I wasn't muted for that. Yo, I'm cooking with that one. It just doesn't make sense. I definitely wouldn't trust someone like that. They don't even bother to draw their own profile picture. You're not proud enough for that, but you want to sell me like your drawings? Fuck no.
Old Etsy orders, you can clearly see I never delivered anything in that style anyway. I tried so many styles. I spent a long time experimenting, even copying
Wait till
the
I got
styles of
Fortnite.
artists I admired, because I was learning and trying to get my own style. I played with 3D posing tools like everyone else, using MMD to understand poses. I tried backgrounds from places like Pinterest or Google because I wasn't good at them yet, like downloading backgrounds from Pinterest and drawing characters on them myself. Eventually I realized none of that really felt like me. And yes, I still don't know how to draw guns. I can look up a reference, but to me they all look the same.
Barbecue.
So I just don't enjoy drawing them. Now I found my own style, something that finally feels like home, and I draw with confidence. Yet some people love acting like judges or lawyers online, looking for someone to tear down for attention. Sometimes it works on others, but I'm still...
See, it would make sense if the person attacking you was just like a serial accuser, like all their content is like, I don't know, Keemstar level drama. Like, maybe that would kind of make sense, but even then, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. All right, that's like a Hassan level commentary. Okay, let me cook for a second. It's the M dashes for me. I mean, I wonder. Okay, so they say I tried backgrounds from places like Pinterest or Google, like downloading them and then drawing their character on them. I wonder if that's like a thing where it's like they admit to something that's like kind of lesser, so that people will be like, oh, well, they admitted to that, so then, you know, maybe they are an honest person. But then it's like, no. Good commentary.
This time lapse was meant to prove it. Here we can see the sketch and the final line art. We can see them making mistakes. It almost seems like they're actually drawing for real. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? As someone who doesn't draw for a living or doesn't even draw at all, for a second, they kind of got me. I started believing it. I started thinking, wait, was that document just not real? It wasn't true? Why am I even making this video?
I understand that desire, that drive, that like, why can't I do what these people do? Why can't, like, you know, why can't I just do it? You know, you have all these great ideas in your head and it's like, you expect yourself to, at some point, be able to just put those down. And then you keep like drawing and you draw, yeah, and it's like, it's really fucking hard to do, but you genuinely have to, I think, placing yourself into someone who lacks it wants it desperately. Dude, I remember that so well. I vividly remember being that person and wanting that because, you know, wasn't that long ago. I have a good memory. But yeah, I do definitely feel kind of sad about people who resort to this kind of stuff. I do feel bad for them. You know, yeah, I think some people just want the prestige of it more than the actual act of it, I guess. I don't know. I got VO Ultra, that shit is crazy. What's VO Ultra? Oh, is that AI stuff? A new model or something? Yeah, I described it to Arcoil like a casino slot machine. Feels good because you keep pulling. Yeah, for sure. And people even refer to it as pulling sometimes, don't they? Or am I thinking of something else? Alright, this is huge. This is huge.
Calling this some sort of unwarranted witch hunt, accusing people like Teru for going after innocent artists and making drama out of nothing. After all, and according to them, they're innocent. I started to believe that, but a day or two later, after carefully scrutinizing the time-lapse, actual artists would have something to say. On December 5th, 2025, someone would say, "Very interesting looking color wheel you're using here," pointing out the fact that the color wheel had very weird colors. Look, a color wheel is meant to represent RGB values. You're meant to see red,
and guys, what color was missing?
Red, orange, yellow, blue, but also green. There was no green whatsoever on this.
Oh, that's funny. Where's the green? Huh. There's no green on that. That's weird. That's suspicious. And there you have it, my friends, the smoking gun.
Color wheel. Someone would quote tweet this and say, "Dude, are we dead ass? She chroma keyed out the green to hide the AI underneath." Recreating this in their own video, saying, "Not gonna lie, that's a very big brain move. I had to test it myself." So here we can see the main art turning green. They just chroma keyed it. This allows them to keep drawing on top, right? As the time lapse isn't picking up the fact that this got chroma keyed because it's chroma keyed. It's not meant to show up in the time lapse. They're literally tracing and you have no idea. It is incredibly smart. Like, we have to give credit where credit is due. Asami traced over green AI art and then used editing software to remove the green from her tablet. Asami's plan.
And you know what's so fucking annoying? This person has a fucking iPad. They have Procreate. I had to remember the name. It has that god-awful name, Procreate. They have the pregnancy app, known as Procreate. They have the sex app. They have an iPad. I don't have a fucking iPad. You know what I would do for an iPad? Anyway. Is this real art? Yeah, I scammed paying clients with AI art. I think I saw this. But you were mean, and that's worse.
Had literally said this under their Google Doc. To Asami, if you even consider replying to this, do know that I'm very much aware of AR tracing, so if you record a video of you drawing IRL, it better not just show your iPad screen and your hand holding your pen. Asami, however, is nothing more than just another drop in the ocean. There are many people like this. This is why it's important that you take the document Teru wrote seriously and you look for these different signs that were pointed out before you commission an art.
Yeah, it's hard though, because, you know, a lot of people when they commission, it's like, do you really expect people to do all this work just for that? It's like, it's rough. It's rough out there.